we've said the word trauma so many times. Trauma is one of my least favorite words on planet Earth. That and triggered. Oh, I'm triggered. Those words. Okay, that's all I wanted to say. Because they're so overused, I think, in my humble opinion.
Hey, welcome back to Really Famous. I'm Kara, a licensed therapist who makes videos with celebrities. I create a safe space so celebs can share their personal stories and their most vulnerable moments. Today, my friend AJ Cook is back. AJ shares how she flipped the script on herself and the brutal moment that changed everything. Let's go.
I've always really looked up to those women that just seem to have it all together, and they're independent, and they've got a really great job, and they're such a presence. And you know, you only ever see them that way. And
like
I think, well, there were like women in my community that I really looked up to, that like, one of them was like a real estate agent. She just seemed so fancy to me. Like, ooh, a real estate, like she carried a briefcase and wore like a cute suit, you know? And I grew up in a really blue collar town. So that to me was very, like, I'm like, oh, that's, I admire that she's got hustle, and, you know, that she seems busy. I don't know where it came from, but I've always been very driven and wanted more for my life. So I think when I'm not actively working toward what that goal is, I think I put a lot of pressure on myself and shame myself, or make myself feel guilty that like, oh, I should be doing more. But with wisdom comes the realization that you can't do more if you're empty. So it's the yin and yang of it all.
Right. It's interesting too, because, right, so you came from more of a blue collar environment. So did you see yourself, or did you have women who you looked up to as like, oh, I want to be like that? Or was it when you got into this environment that you were like, oh, wow, and it opened your eyes to another way?
Yeah, I think my grandmother was a nurse. My grandparents lived with us. Like my grandmother worked, my mother worked as well. My dad is like such a hustler, like always working. So I've been around hard workers my whole life, which I'm so grateful for. And I've always worked from the time I could remember. And I was a dancer too. So I think the dance background has a lot to do with it. Where you're just, you're grinding in the studio. You're not sitting around.
Right.
You gotta look busy. It's like if you got time to lean, you got time to clean kind of mentality that I grew up with maybe. But also like just from maybe TV shows that I saw too. I just always really admired that independent woman. It called to me for whatever reason. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I
It's
think I saw
interesting.
that as well. Like, I think I had that same, and I don't know where it came from necessarily, but like when you see it, you know, oh, I like that. Like I can kind of see myself like that. And it helps to see that.
Yeah.
And it, so it's something that it's good, I think, to have that drive if it feels good to you.
Yeah.
And so, but it does make the downtime a bigger conflict internally, especially because you're living in this, you're near the beach.
I know.
And so there's that,
Yeah.
you're kind of like your environment, you're in different environments, right? During the times when you're filming,
It's a
you're in
juxtaposition.
Yeah.
Like, whoa.
But it's funny because also when you said like people think you're this outgoing person, I don't think of you that way.
Okay. Well, because we've talked a lot. Like you see me.
I do. So
Yeah.
even when you came in today, you seemed more, right, like extroverted than I think of you. And I think it's because, yes.
Oh gosh, I'm spiraling then.
No,
I'm
you're not spiraling, but you're in that mode now where this is what you are doing because you're in this environment. But that makes me feel like, yes, it must take even more out of you, even when you don't realize it. And then you realize it when you, like we said, get off the freeway.
Yeah. Yeah. No, after a day like today and yesterday, I did some press yesterday. you always feel it when you get home. You're like, oh, no one talked to me. But then as a mom and a wife, you feel like you want to show up and give as much as you, like, I just gave my everything to my work. How dare I not give my everything to my family? But my husband's also been crucial in that way too, because he understands that. He's like, this is a safe space. He's like, of course you just want to sit and veg for a minute. Like, you don't want to talk.
No.
I get that. And he understands that too, because he's a lot like that as well. So
there's also nothing wrong with that as a mom. Like, you don't have to be constantly tending to the kids.
Oh, the kids love it when I need space. I'm not like, did you do your homework? Did you get it done? Yeah.
But isn't it good for them to see you being a human?
Absolutely.
Right? Because there are sometimes when some people have parents who really seem like they're not human, right? And so they think that they have to constantly be perfect or whatever. And it's kind of setting yourself up for a failure, I think.
Yeah, it's interesting because our boys are definitely very similar in that way. Like, they can be very extroverted and social, but I think because they've seen it with us, with my husband and myself, that they know that they can also come home and just shut her down, and that's okay. And like, home has become this sanctuary and this safe space, which is what you want it to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we've seen it with the boys too. So
yeah,
which makes me feel good that they know that this is their space to be whatever they need to be at that moment.
Right, right. So I think last time we talked about anxiety too, and kind of how you handle anxiety. So
what's anxiety?
Tell me about it.
Yeah, I keep bumping this. I'm so sorry. I'm a rookie here.
So yes, anxiety. What's anxiety? Said as a joke because everybody knows what anxiety is.
Yeah, I feel like it's. Do you think that sometimes we misinterpret?
Okay,
anxiety?
so let's go. What do you mean?
I'm curious. I just feel like everyone's so eager to slap a name on things where, like, when I was, I'm going to sound so old, but like when I was a kid, I don't know. I feel like everything is so medical now. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And it's not necessarily doesn't need to be. It's just, it's okay. It's okay to have anxiety. There's nothing wrong with you. It's a totally normal human thing. I think the more we dwell on it, the more the anxiety grows.
You are absolutely right. Well, you remember I'm a therapist, right?
Yes.
You remember that?
Yes, I do. That's why I'm asking you. I'm
Yeah.
like, right?
Right.
I feel like we're making ourselves more anxious.
So I definitely have thoughts on that.
And I'm dying to talk to you about
many
this.
thoughts about it. So yes, not only is anxiety normal, but we are built to have anxiety. It's there for a reason. It's there physiologically to protect us from threats, right? So it's a very normal human function and reaction to things. But what happens is when we start perceiving threats that aren't real threats anymore, that it can become difficult to deal with. But the good news is you can just do things about it and shift your mindset on how you see it. And then it does not have to have the impact that you think it has or that it had before. So that's one aspect of it. So it's okay to you don't have to shut down anxiety and be like, oh no, I have to run from it. I can't get anxious. Anxiety is such a bad thing. No, it's a normal human function and it's fine, but you just have to have strategies for dealing with it. But in terms of medicalizing, yes, I agree with that as well. So as a therapist, I find, especially more and more, I lean towards positive psychology, where you really tap into your strengths and you see all the things that are difficult as things that you can not only manage, but you can use them to your advantage. And so I'm not about illness so much and that everything is disordered. Now there are disorders, believe
Absolutely.
me.
I'm not
And I'm not
that.
working with people who have personality disorders or serious psychiatric conditions. So I'm talking about people with regular
life is stressful.
Exactly. But it's okay. And
Yes,
it doesn't mean
be.
there's something wrong with you. It's just this is what life entails. And you just have to have a system for dealing with it.
Yeah, this is something that I've noticed just with like some of my friend group, and the ones that really struggle are the ones. Rumination, I think, is our worst enemy. I think they can't get off that hamster wheel. And I try to explain to them that, like, maybe don't think about it so much. Like, and I feel like therapy too. Therapy is a great thing, but I also feel like if you're not with the right therapist, if you keep picking at a scab, how's it ever gonna heal? And again, I'm talking about like, things like anxiety, or how do you get out of that loop? How can I help my friends get out of that loop?
So you have friends in the rumination loop?
Yes, like severely.
So is it usually about one thing that they're ruminating over? Like, what's an example?
I mean, just like boyfriend drama, and rightfully so, because of past things that have happened. But that's not this person. Like, how do you get someone to get off that wheel?
Well, first of all, they may not be in the right relationship. That might be part of the problem.
Ooh, ouch.
So I don't know who you're talking about or what their situation is.
I just feel like this is a very broad, like, so many people are stuck in this.
And so what, like over analyzing something that happened?
Yeah.
Or like, I can't get over a concern or something? Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah, I just can't get over like the idea of like something's happening that they're unaware of. So I think it's all,
like a trust issue?
Yeah, I think that's probably trust issues.
Right.
But
depends on the relationship again. Like if the relationship is a good one, but they're fixating on something may be happening, then it probably does have something to do with what happened to them before. And so what I would do is probably show them the differences between what happened before and this relationship.
I see.
Right. I'm taking a lot of leaps here. I'm assuming this relationship is good and the partner is not doing anything wrong and the past relationship was bad and the partner did do something wrong.
Yes.
So if that was the case, then that's what I would do.
Okay.
Right. So you have to really deal with the issues that you're coming into the relationship with or they're going to show themselves again.
It's just, I feel so bad for people that are stuck in that like rumination phase. Yeah. And it's such a common thing.
It is.
But the
first thing just on the surface is to identify, oh, I'm doing that again. Oh, that's the loop. Oh, I'm in the loop again. And so then telling themselves, okay, I know this is useless.
Right?
And in fact, it will just continue to drive me nuts. So I see that again and I'm choosing not to latch onto that. I will free myself of that and I'll let it just float away and then use a substitute to think about something else. And so you can kind of train yourself to get out of that rumination loop. But if it's a bigger issue, you have to target the issue, get over it, move on, and then it'll be done.
You hear that, people? I'm sure a lot of people needed to hear that.
I think probably.
Thank you.
Very common. So I like to talk about this stuff. I find it very interesting.
I do too. And I've been wanting to talk to you about it because I know that this is what you do. And I'm fascinated on that whole side of it because I feel like it's a place that so many people are familiar with, yet they don't know what to do, how to get out of it, how to get out of the loop.
Yeah.
So
okay. So fire away. What else have you got for me?
Well, I know people that are so desperate to get out of the loop that they'll go like do psilocybin and all of that, take that route, the ketamine thing, like all of that. I'm just like, there's got to be a better way.
Okay, so it depends.
It depends. Again, everyone has trauma and.
Okay, but all right.
I know. Now we're going on a totally different. I'm just talking about anxiety.
So let's.
We started with anxiety.
Trauma.
How did we get here?
Oh, well, this is a good place to be. So some of what I will say, could be perceived as controversial. So I don't know. I'm just going to say it anyway, and I'll decide, or everybody else can decide what they think about it. But. Yes, so people have had trauma and they need to, first of all, I have to disclaim that I just discovered I've been saying the word trauma wrong for my entire life and I say it all the time.
Trauma?
I say trauma, like drama.
So do I.
You do?
How are we supposed to say this word?
Trauma, like with an A-U, because it does have A-U. Trauma.
Trauma?
Yeah.
Say it.
Trauma. But that sounds wrong to me, but I'm trying to say it like that now.
It doesn't. Does it?
But no, that's the way I think that you're supposed to say it. But I say trauma.
I'm
Okay, you don't hear it. Good.
I think that sounds fantastic.
Okay, good. It was my son who pointed out to me. He's like, "What did you just say?" I said,
That's
"What
something
do you
a
mean?"
son would point out.
Yeah. So he's like, "It's not trauma." I was like, "Yes, it is. What are you talking about?" And then we went.
There's so much drama in the trauma.
Right? We went looking up videos and whatnot to see. It's really hard to see. But okay, so getting back to the actual subject of trauma, there are many people who have had trauma and they need to address it and get through it. And the only way to get past trauma is to face it and do it and talk to a therapist about it. But it certainly you can get past it. And just because you've had trauma doesn't mean you're broken. A lot of people think that they're broken. So that aside, also, I think we're being trained to think that we've been traumatized when we haven't.
Okay, so what I will say, so we've said the word trauma so many times. Trauma is one of my least favorite words on planet Earth. That and triggered. Oh, I'm triggered. Those words. Okay, that's all I wanted to say. Because they're so overused. I think, in my humble opinion.
Not only overused, but they victimize you.
Yes. This is what I wanted to talk to you about too, just to see what your opinion was on it.
Yeah, so you see it and you feel like that's the case, that it's like, what is all of this about? So tell me your opinion and then I'll give you my thoughts.
I just think it's used in the wrong way. I think it's like an everyday word now, and it has taken what it actually is, the true meaning of it. It's lost its meaning. It's like an everyday word now of like, oh, I lost my parking spot. I'm so triggered. Or, oh my gosh, I had so much trauma. My haircut was terrible. You know what I mean? I mean, everyone's got some level of trauma in their lives, and who's to judge, I don't know. I just feel like we're throwing the word around a little too carelessly, right? And it's like it's become a competition. It's also become a competition on who has the worst trauma. I'm like, this is not a competition I want to be involved in.
Yeah, it's not.
I don't want to win
healthy.
that.
No, it's not. It's really putting a negative spin on life, and it's looking for this. We talked about last time in a different context. Is that whatever you are looking for, you will find. So if you are looking for problems, you will find them.
Oh my gosh.
If you are looking for good things in life, you will find them, right? So this is that in just a different context, which is, if we're going to be talking so much about getting triggered by things, we're going to constantly be triggered by things. And then you're like inviting it in because your subconscious is looking for it.
Yeah.
And the same with trauma. And it kind of dilutes the meaning of trauma because, like I said, there are people who have been through legitimate trauma.
The most terrible things that one could even think of.
Right. But that's not the same as like life. And yes, there are difficult people and there are difficult situations that you will be through or go through, but it doesn't mean that you have had trauma and you're a victim of trauma. Like, I really don't.
The victim mentality, it is so dangerous.
And it's common and it's becoming more common, I think.
I do too.
And
good. So it's not just
problem.
me. So it's not just me.
Do you think it's just you? Like, do you ever talk to anybody else about this? Or is this just kind of internally swirling?
I mean, my husband.
Does he agree?
Oh, for sure.
Uh-huh.
For sure. He can't. He's like, I can't hear it.
Right.
I can't.
Okay, I'm going to bring up another thing too. It's a little bit different, and you are not dating and I am not dating. So it's kind of funny that we would talk to each other about it. But I was talking to somebody yesterday about this and I think it's an interesting topic. So you tell them, I just figured I would bring it up.
What this is.
Dating today.
Oh gosh.
With
enough said.
There is a thing now with dating where people have a checklist in mind. Like, there are a lot of checklists. Like somebody on a date, if I'm going to date somebody, they have to do A, B, C, D, E, and F, let's say. Do you guys agree with me? Do you know what I'm talking about? Yes. Okay. So we're getting 3 heads nodding. Yes. So you don't necessarily want to disqualify somebody for something like that because especially if they're in their 20s, they're still in progress. Like, they are a work in progress. They're learning how to do things. It's the bigger things you don't want to miss that are the things to judge. Like, are they supportive? Yeah. Are they, how do they talk about other people or whatever else? You have to look for those signs of a real good partner.
Yeah.
But that's the trend that I'm seeing now.
I know. And
Thoughts?
from what I understand, there's a lot of single people and they will remain single because like relationships are hard. I mean, I know people look at my husband and myself and think that we have a perfect marriage, and our 25th wedding anniversary is coming up next year. And we've been together for, gosh, almost 28 years. And we do have a wonderful relationship, but it's work. It's hard work. And nothing is easy, but we love each other above all else. And so you show up for each other every day and you put in the work. I feel like people, I think it goes back to social media and just seeing this fake world of everything, and everything's glossy and pretty and perfect, and you only see the good days. And people, this younger generation, I guess, I somehow think that that's what it's supposed to be. It's not.
It's not realistic at all.
It's not. It's not. And you're going to be alone. And that's okay. That's okay if that's what you want.
Totally okay.
Totally okay. I'm not bagging on that.
Because we could go into that
at all
topic too, but we'll
because you might be onto something. But no, I mean, if you, this is the problem I have, and I really worry about, my sons and what that looks like for them in the future. The second they come up against anything difficult in a relationship or an issue, they don't know how to deal with it, so they just end it. And that's not life. Like that's not what a relationship is. A relationship is working through your differences and making it work.
Right.
It's work. The word work is in there.
So what does it look like? Like what does it really look like? Marriage.
Thanks for watching. Drop a comment and I'll see you in the next video.